Hey everybody, I am Howard, and this is Otter's Retirement Corner. So is Social Security a Ponzi scheme? And the reason this comes up is Elon Musk went on the Joe Rogan show and made the statement that Social Security is the largest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world. Now, this isn't a new concept. I've heard this and read this from hundreds of people over the years. Almost every Social Security article, whether it's Yahoo or CNBC or YouTube videos, whatever it is, someone's going to make the comment, multiple people will make the comment that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this, a Ponzi scheme is named after a guy named Ponzi decades ago who created this scheme whereby he induced people to invest, and he was going to run that investment and pay them out, whatever you want to call it, interest or dividends. And he didn't invest anything. He kept the money for himself. And as he brought new people into this investment, he gave that money as dividends or interest to the earlier investors. And he needed to get more and more investors to continue doing that. So he would keep some of the money and he would pay some of it out. So there were no investments. So any time you have a, what's called maybe a pyramid scheme with investments, Bernie Madoff is the most famous one of these, where there typically isn't any investing. They take in this money and they pay it out. So in essence, it's new entrants pay old investors. And the reasoning that they say Social Security is a Ponzi scheme is because the thought is that people paying taxes now are the ones paying the people getting benefits now. So in reality, that's not necessarily true, even that part of it. There's a trust fund. It right now holds $2.7 trillion for Social Security, and it invests in Treasury securities. The money coming in from payroll taxes, in essence, goes into that trust fund. The money coming in from the interest on their investments in treasuries goes into that trust fund. The money that comes in from income taxes on Social Security goes in that trust fund. And every week or whenever they pay out benefits, the money comes out of the trust fund. So even if there wasn't payroll taxes coming in, the trust fund could probably pay out a little over 2 years of benefits right now. But let's take this a step further, because my contention is people who call Social Security a Ponzi scheme understand neither what a Ponzi scheme is nor how Social Security works. Simply stated, Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. We have to stop this. It's just ridiculous. Make whatever claims you want about how bad Social Security is, or it's you think it's mismanaged, or whatever you want to say. Just stop saying it's a Ponzi scheme, okay? So here's the other thing. The Ponzi scheme is an investment plan. Social Security is an old age survivors plan or an insurance plan. It's not an investment plan. It's not sold to people like that. Ponzi schemes are sold as investment plans. Now, a Ponzi scheme will also promise, and this is the way they lure people in, they'll promise above market returns. And whether that's, hey, we'll give you 20% monthly interest, annual interest, whatever it is, it's well above market, and it's got to be like that so that people crowd in. The greedy people will crowd in, whether they understand that that can't be done or not. That's what attracts people in, is those above market returns. Now, Social Security does not promise above market returns. In fact, they make investments that are extremely conservative, Treasury securities, and people know this beforehand. They know exactly what's being invested in, where people in Ponzi schemes typically don't know what the investments are. Now, a Ponzi scheme, by definition, is unsustainable. It's going to eventually collapse because you can't continue bringing in enough people to pay the people that were already in there before you. So by definition, it will end. Social Security is going to last forever, absent of any, congressional law change that says we're ending Social Security. But the way it's set up now, even if the trust fund depletes, and everyone will know that, people will continue to receive benefits. They may be lower than they were in the past, but they will receive benefits, and that could last forever, and that's the design of the program. Now, a Ponzi scheme participants pick themselves. So no one forces you to go into a Ponzi scheme. You don't know it's a Ponzi scheme, but you choose to invest. You can choose not to invest. Whoever is in that scheme has picked themselves as participants. Social Security does not let you pick who's going to participate. For the most part, if you're earning wages in the United States, you are in Social Security and you're going to pay payroll taxes and invest into Social Security. You don't have a choice. People may look at that as a negative, but that's the difference between a Ponzi scheme, another difference between a Ponzi scheme and Social Security. Now, a Ponzi scheme does not make actual investments. There may be a few, there may be a tiny bit, but generally the person running it or people running it keep that money for themselves. Social Security does make investments. By law, they are required to use all excess funds and buy Treasury securities. As it is for the last few years, there hasn't been enough money to pay benefits, so they're no longer investing new money coming in, and the only money invested is what's in the trust fund, or about the 2.7 trillion that sits there right now. And again, people know beforehand what those investments are, because everybody knows the laws of Social Security and that they're required to invest in treasuries. And when I say everyone knows that, that information is available to everybody. I won't say, you ask your typical man or woman on the street, they probably don't know that. So another difference is a Ponzi scheme does not actually issue real quarterly or annual financial statements. They may issue statements, but they're made up, or they don't issue statements. Most people investing a lot of money will want statements, so they typically do make something up, but they're not real statements. The difference being here, Social Security issues not only monthly reports, but annual statements, quarterly statements, and they're audited twice a year, and they have a trustees report, and very open, and here's our cards on the table. This is what we are. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is what we have. This is what we took in. This is what we paid out. Very open, very visible. They're not hiding anything. A Ponzi scheme does not have its finances audited, because if they did, they would end. So if you're in an investment vehicle and they send you statements and they're not audited or reviewed, maybe take a little closer look at what you're doing. Again, Social Security is subject to a financial audit twice a year by the Office of Audit, the Government Office of Audit, and an independent auditor, one of the big accounting firms. So again, available for everyone to see. Now, at the very heart of it is, a Ponzi scheme is based on deception. Everything you're told about it by the people who run it are lies. That's the whole idea of a Ponzi scheme. It's deception. There is no deception to Social Security. Everything about Social Security is written in the laws that have been passed over the years, and there have been many, starting in 1935, which was the Social Security Act that started the program. Every time something's been changed about Social Security, there's been a bill that's gone through Congress, gone through the Senate, signed by the President, and they're all available for everyone to see. You can go online and look at any of this. There is no deception. If you think there is deception, you probably don't understand the program. So again, Social Security, not a Ponzi scheme. Please stop that. So tell me what you think. If you still believe it's a Ponzi scheme, tell me why. If you think I'm wrong about something here, tell me why. What do you hear? Do you hear this from people? Give me your questions, give me your comments. Again, please, if you like this content, subscribe and like, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.